Sorry about that. I do think we have sound now. Please let me know if we do. Good morning, Pauline. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, um, Neil. And I believe Yolanda was on commented as well. Yeah, sorry about that. It seems that I had forgot that I did not even hook up my microphone this morning. Just make sure the live streams are going good. Good morning, Tani. Good morning, Martin. So good to see so many of my family and friends joining us here. Let's get started with the updates. You okay, Lucy? I know. Lucy's been a lot more whiny lately. I know, like me, she misses her friend. Um, I was able to get Jingda's ashes returned, and I set up an altar for him in the house. And I got a lot of lovely comments. It reminded me of just how many people had connected with Jingda over the years. Just an amazing number of people. When he's in your life for 19 years. Yeah, 19 years. Um, a lot of people had connected with him. A lot of people had met him over the years, and got photos from other people who had taken photos from him of him. But yeah, Lucy's been kind of crying every night. Um, I know she misses her buddy. Um, I had this idea of possibly adopting a little guy, um, in honor of Jingda and kind of for both of me and Lucy. But I'm realizing here in California how expensive adoption is, just regular um, adoption. Um, it wasn't like that in Arizona. Um, the, one of the plus sides of Arizona, the very few, was that the county shelters were pretty well funded um, by the state, at least a lot more so than California here. You okay, Lucy? I know. So it's just a little too expensive for us to be able to do. I understand why shelters take in, these large adoption fees, and that's to cover like medical costs and care and rent here in the Bay Area is ridiculously expensive. So I understand why the reason is, but it's just out of our reach for um, how the temple's doing. Our fundraisers did not do as well as I had hoped, but they did do something. So we're alive. We're thriving. Um, the rainstorms really ate up a lot of our gas, having to run the generator for so long. But we finally are having a lot more sunny days. That's helping not have to run the generator, not have to spend money on fuel. So that's helpful. But I got all the animals fed this morning. Breve, Grave, and Amanda Renee are all in their little duck house eating breakfast. Lucy the dog, of course, is right here next to me. Rob, Matt, and Philip, the goats down the hill, are doing really well. Miyachi and the other two tortoises are doing really well. They're out because we've been having sunny days. So I've had them out here with me. They're just kind of wandering about. They're still sleeping now, and they'll get their breakfast around noon when they come out. Priya and Harriet, right here next to, right on this other side of the fence here. They're doing really well. The Roosters, Jax and Jimmy, are doing really well. Oh, yes, Lucy. You want to say hi? I know. We're talking about you and everyone else. The guinea fowl, Wendy, she's doing really well. And then we have the Roosters on the main side, Sabrina May, Hard One, Mr. Black, Elton, and Magnus. They're all doing really well. Our hens on that side, Glennis, Gwen, Alice, Melissa, Melinda, Sunny, Dora, and Daniela are all doing really well. Our rats inside the house, Yamabushi and Hasu, are doing really well. I can hear Sequoia, the dove. She's cooing away as she does in the morning. Then we have the Cornwall corner with all of our Cornishes, Poppy, Aster, Ivy, Azalea, Peony, Cynthia, Lotus, Edward, Magnolia, Hazel, Sage, Marigold, Camilla, Hydrangea, Holly, and Zinnia. They're all doing really well. And then we have the 40 pigeons, FP, Champagne, Appletini, Tulin, Sasha, Yo-Yo, Petey, Ricky, Spencer, Shambles, Beluga, Beth, Pee-wee, Cascade, Augustus, Frankie, Rufus, Harper, Elliot, Snickers, Boba, Kismet, Farah, Angus, Pandora, Jones, Finch, Sin, Harriet, Lago, Fred, Tremonto, Halo, Vin, Capone, Thimble, Percy, Pacino, Lacey, and Sasha too. They're all doing really well. Being pigeons, really enjoying their time. It always warms my heart to go in there and see FP. Kind of enjoying all his new friends and enjoying all the big space that they have. Makes me really happy. Just checking the comments. Yeah. Vets are expensive in Canada. I bet. I'm sure the vets are very expensive here as well, especially our avian vets for birds and things like that. We're very fortunate to have one. Our landlord is a vet, and we have another vet we have on call in Southern California, who helps us out with prescriptions and advice and things like that. Yeah, Yolanda mentioned about municipalities offering financial help for low-income people for spay and neuter. It's a really good thing. I'm sorry that they're far and few between. In Arizona, that was definitely something we had too. I had adopted a dog once off the street, and so if it's not through the county doesn't do the spay or neuter, so you have to find someone on your own to do the spay and neuter. But there's a lot of low-cost spay and neuter clinics in Arizona that at the time I was able to find. I'm not sure how it is now, but at the time it was. Very simple. You didn't have to spend a lot of money to help out dogs. Unfortunately, everywhere you go, birds are very expensive. We had to go to like exotic vets to have a chicken seen, and that's really not ideal. If you go to anybody who specializes in chickens, it's usually farm chickens that they specialize in, and the priority is what can they be used for, and their worth as that goes, and that's not ideal for getting them best care. So those are updates. Everybody is really doing well. I'm really happy to see all the residents doing super good. Let's get started with today's services. I forgot my book. I seem to be a little off my rhythm. I guess I'm still dealing with the loss of Jingda. But we'll get started here. We'll be doing the recitation of the Heart Sutra, found on page 4 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. As always, are all the sutras and mantras and practices here are dedicated to our dear animal friends. I especially want to be thinking about our dear animal friends in Southern California, dealing with the devastating fires there. I also want to think about all the great animal rescuers who are down there helping with that situation. All the I want to think about the wild animal friends there that are struggling losing their homes, as well as the companion animal friends who are struggling and amongst all that chaos there. Maka hanya haramita shenyo kanji zai bosatsu gyojin hanya haramita jiso kengon kaiku do isai kuyaku shari shi shiki fuku shiki shiki zoku ze kuku zoku ze shiki ju so gyo shiki yaku bunyo ze shari shi ze sho ku so fu sho fu metsu fu ku fu jo fu zo fu gen ze koku kumu shiki mu ju so gyo shiki mu gen ni bi zetshin ni mu shiki sho ko mi soku ho mu gen kai nei shi mu i shiki kai mu mu myo yaku mu mu myo jin nei shi mu ro shi yaku mu ro shi jin mu ku shu metsu do mu chi yaku mu tokui mu sho tokko bodai sa tai hanya haramita koshin mukege komu uku funri yisai tendo musoku gyo nehan zanze shubutsu e hanya haramita ko shu watsu gyate yate hara gyate hara so gyate boji sowaka hanya shingyo Negu waku wa kono kudoko o motte amma neku issai ni oyoboshi warura toshija tomina tomo no butsudo o jozen koto o jiho sanshi Boshi son bosa Boshi son bosa Mokosa Moko hoja Horo Mi We now recite the refuge prayer in Tibetan and then in English, page 8 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. Sangye Chadan Tsaki Chanam La Janje Parduk Tekti Gipsuchi Daki Jinzo Gipe Sonam Ki Jola Penjer Sangye Juparsho. The Buddha, Dharma, and excellent assembly of the Sangha. Until I attain enlightenment, in these I take refuge. By my practice of the 6 perfections, may all sentient beings attain the state of Buddhahood. We now recite the 4 great Bodhisattva vows, Shigi Seigan, page 9 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. Shujo Muhen Segando Bono Mujin Segandan Omon Murya Segangak Otida Muja Seganjo. However numerous sentient beings, I vow to enlighten them all. However inexhaustible my delusions, I vow to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the dharmas, I vow to master them all. However endlessly enlightened way, I vow to follow it fully. We now recite the 6 vows to our dear animal friends. However numerous my dear animal friends, I vow to liberate them all. However diverse the methods of animal liberation, I vow to support them all. However unheard their voices, I vow to speak out for them all. However painful and inexhaustible the methods of suffering, I vow to bear witness to them all. However infinite the cages and tanks, I vow to empty them all. However difficult animal liberation, I vow to achieve it completely. And we now recite the Vajrasattva Purification Mantra. Om Vajrasattva Maya Nupalaya Vajrasattva No Pachita Dredo Me Baba Sutosho Me Baba Suposho Me Baba Anorato Me Baba Sarva Sita Me Priyata Sarva Karma Sita Me Chicham Shri Yam Guru Hom Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sava Tathagata Vajrama Me Mucha Vajri Baba Mahasamamya Sapaha. So I sit here again without a prepared uh, talk for this Sunday. Things are, still trying to get things back on track here. We are finally kind of getting things cleaned up from all the storms. Things starting to look a little bit better. The ground is starting to dry out, which means I'm able to do more cleaning. When it's very, very muddy, it's difficult to clean because you're just like picking up mud and not really picking up uh, the mess that was created. It's just mud. Um, so we're starting to finally get some of the more heavy cleaning done. We haven't had much volunteers up here, which is kind of strange. The new year usually brings new volunteers, new year, and especially with the rain kind of subsiding, it's been really beautiful up here. So I'm surprised that we haven't seen any volunteers yet in all of 2025. But I'm hopeful that we'll see some here eventually. Um, I know I still have to get water um, because during the storms, the roads are too muddy to go down the hill with the big truck. So we have to, our water's pretty low, so I need to get water here soon, hopefully today or tomorrow. What is it, Lucy? Come here. I know. I see we have a new kitten kind of joining us here. I think their name is T, kind of joining our service. Um, no, my truck is working very well. It does not get up the hill and down the hill fully loaded with water in the mud. um, and maybe it could. It's just I don't want to chance it in the mud. I don't want to slide off the hill fully weighted. We transport about 300 gallons of water at a time, and we can hold up to 900 gallons on top of the hill. So that's 3 trips up and down the hill with water, and I just didn't want to chance it during the storms. Although, with things starting to dry out before our next set of rainstorms, I probably should get that done. Um, but the truck is working well. Not everything is going so terribly here. Actually, because of the very nice weather, all of our residents are very healthy and doing really well. Um, Lucy's just a little whiny, um, and understandably. Well, one of the topics I wanted to talk about was the a controversial topic that I probably shouldn't be talking about, but I will because, as always, our temple is dedicated to our dear animal friends. Um, our purpose here is to speak on behalf of them, and sometimes humans don't agree or like some of our stances, but please understand that our stances and ideas come from trying to put our dear animal friends first. But this is the topic I've touched on before, and it's the topic of veganism. And like I've always been a proponent of, I think all humans should be vegan. With that said, all humans should seek to not cause suffering. All humans should not murder or exploit or unnecessarily kill. All beings should seek to live in harmony with one another. But of that list that I just named off, what is the term for that kind of person? What do you call a person? What do you call a human being? Let me be specific. What do you call a human being who does not murder, who does not unnecessarily kill, who does not exploit others, who does not use others for their own benefit? What do we call that human being? Is there a term? Is there a name? No. Not that I can think of. If you can think of one, please let me know. But something specific that talks about, a human that doesn't do all of those things. I would say it's a good person. I also would say that's the bare minimum of what a human being should seek to do in this world. But when it comes to our non-human animal friends, we have a word for that. We call them vegans. And it always was strange to me that we have a term for that. And I wonder and I question whether or not this term that we call ourselves, um, a person who does not exploit animals, who does not use animals, who does not murder animals, who does not unnecessarily kill animals. This person is this human we would call a vegan. Um, so I question when we strive to be anti-speciesist, when we strive to not discriminate based on species, are we are we simply doing that just by using the term vegan? Um, I'd also caveat that I'm not necessarily saying that we shouldn't use the term, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't, for ease of language. Often, this is how we describe our lifestyle. This is how we describe, some of the choices that differ from other human beings. Um, we might, for ease of conversation, uh, tell someone we're vegan because we're not eating animal flesh or wearing silk or wool or going to zoos or um, aquariums. Uh, we don't use things that are tested on animals, things like that. So for ease of conversation, I understand why the word has continued to be used. Um, I do question, however, the ask that we make of this world. The ask to go vegan, um, I'm not sure is maybe a speciesist ask. Um, my ask is for human beings to be decent. My ask is for all beings to be decent and kind, and that in turn means that we don't, kill or unnecessarily kill, murder, exploit, use for our own benefit other beings. Neil said that maybe this type of being we would call a bodhisattva. Yeah, I agree, actually. But I think a bodhisattva is more. Um, Definitely, a bodhisattva does not engage in the unnecessary suffering of others. Um, all of those things I've just listed off over and over um, definitely are things that bodhisattvas would avoid. Um, but I challenge folks to think about, what do you actually do for others? What do we actually do? What actions do we take? What positive things uh, do we do for our dear animal friends and for all sentient beings? And I think this is where you start to define what a bodhisattva is. And this is what you start to define what us who do deeply care for our dear animal friends do. And that's not to say that all my vegan friends, you don't do anything, because that's absolutely not true. Most of you out there are caring for a companion animal friend. Most of you out there are involved in activism or are talking to folks about the plight of our dear animal friends. And so there is action being taken. But I don't want us to get confused about the lofty goal of, turning the whole world vegan. Obviously, if that happened, there wouldn't be a word vegan anymore. So that's something that we should think about if that's the world we want to live in. Then maybe what we should do is be taking action for, peace amongst all beings, harmony amongst all beings. And I bring this up because I often cringe at the idea of personally being called a vegan. I personally am not a huge fan of that, because often people bestow on each other this term vegan as meaning that you don't, um, you know, that they're somehow a kinder or gentler person, and I don't think that's true. Um, just taking non-action doesn't make you a kind and gentle person. Um, Being kind and gentle to others, what makes you kind and gentle to others? Um, Not hurting, exploiting, causing suffering, not causing suffering um, is not the same as causing softness or gentleness or compassion or love. Those things take action. It takes action to love. It takes action for compassion. Um, those are positive things to do. Where not doing something is the negative, and absolutely we should refrain from causing suffering. Uh, but I think not causing suffering is nothing lofty or special. This should be the baseline, right? This should be the bare minimum that as human beings we participate or we refrain from participating in violence. So that's my controversial take on veganism. Uh, I want to encourage folks to, um, of course, not harm other beings, but more importantly, seek to create harmony, seek to spread compassion and love for other beings, seek to help one another. This is truly what I've learned from spending time with all of my dear animal residents here, really what they're looking for, really what they want. They have no idea what I'm eating inside of the house. And they have no idea if I go to a zoo at, or if I visit an aquarium, which I don't. But my residents have no idea. Um, what they do know is how I treat them when I come and visit them, when I care for them, when I place out their food for them, uh, when I do my health checks for them, when I approach them with gentleness, and approaching Dora with gentleness and love and care and compassion has nothing to do with veganism, has nothing to do with what I ate that morning. In fact, she cares that I approach her with love and kindness and gentleness. That's what they're looking for. That's what our dear animal friends want from us, is to treat them with love and kindness and gentleness, compassion. That's truly what they want from us. Um, when they're suffering, they want us to help them, uh, protect them from suffering, to remove them from that suffering. So that's truly the direction I want folks to start turning to where I would love to see human beings start turning to, is this positive action. And I think we can practice this with each other too, right? Of course, I think the first step in treating others with love and kindness and compassion is to not commit violence towards each other. But we should take it beyond that as loving, caring, compassionate people. We should take effort to be actually positively kind to folks, and not just an absence of violence, but a presence of peace. Hope that makes sense to folks. I hope they can see my point and angle about that. Yeah, I like Neil's right there. There's a quote about that. I can't remember right now. Something like, compassion without action isn't really compassion. Um, Absolutely. I agree. Although I'm a big proponent of nonviolence, I'm even a bigger proponent of positive peace, um, of actually promoting, actually creating peace on this planet, peace on this world, peace amongst our dear animal friends. Let's change the world to be a better world, and not just a world absence of suffering, but a world full of love and compassion. So that's my talk for this week. I hope folks have gained a little something out of that. I'm also, not asking for people to not promote veganism. That's not my ask. I think if that's the work that you're doing, I think that's work that's necessary. Um, but I do want folks to investigate within your own heart, um, what that means to you, and what we think we can do for forward moving positive change for our dear animal friends. we'll conclude with the dedication, the animal liberation prayer and the dedication of merit. And then we'll go on a quick tour as I need to let everybody out because it seems that everybody is finished eating their breakfast. So we'll take a quick tour as we let everybody out. And Yolanda commented, I want to comment quickly on this, is our world is getting more violent, unfortunately. I agree, Yolanda, and I think that in order to change the world, we can't just simply abstain from violence, but we have to actively seek to end violence. That we have to actively do something to allow love and compassion to prevail. That the more violent this world gets, then the more work that we have to do. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends, subject to unbearable pain in labs throughout the world, be free of all suffering. May alternatives to animal experimentation, vivisection, dissection be implemented immediately. May bodhicitta, the quality of compassion that leads to enlightenment, fill the hearts of those who imprison them. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who suffer endless days, months, and years, locked in tiny cages unable to move, be filled with peace and calm. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who are forcibly taken from their families, be reunited, and may all families be able to stay together. May the hearts of those who work in slaughterhouses, factory farms, and all industries that exploit our dear animal friends be filled with bodhicitta, so the very thought of harm is purified. May they never kill again, and may the slaughterhouse lines, factory farms, and all industries that exploit our dear animal friends become immediately empty. May no animal be afraid or depressed. May their bodies be free of injuries, disease, and illness. May the mutilation of their bodies be forever ceased. May those who need homes or have been driven from them find shelter, plentiful food, and water. May there be liberation for those tortured for fur, entertainment, or who are hunted. May those who believe that they are superior to our brother and sister animals develop perfect equanimity, and may they realize in their hearts that all sentient beings possess Buddha nature, the potential to be completely free of suffering, and that they are not ours to kill or exploit. May the billions of land and sea-dwelling sentient beings who are abused, exploited, and killed due to greed, hatred, and ignorance be free of suffering. May all the nets, hooks, blades, projectiles, traps, snares, cages, pens, tanks, lethal restraints, saddles, reins, prods, bait, poison, and all instruments used to harm, exploit, and dominate our dear animal friends be forever abolished. May all human and non-human sentient beings live together in harmony, peace, equanimity, and achieve perfect enlightenment quickly. May we all experience happiness, safety, freedom, and animal liberation in this very lifetime. And we now recite the dedication of merit to our dear animal friends. Throughout our many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue we have accomplished, including this aspiration for peace, and all that we will ever attain, this we offer for the benefit of all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends. May suffering and exploitation and necessary death be decreased for every being, while wisdom, bliss, and compassion increase in this and every future life. May we clearly and instantly perceive the plight of our dear animal friends with the urgency and seriousness they deserve, and their every action leads them to complete liberation. May we quickly attain enlightenment and work ceaselessly for liberation of all sentient beings. we'll get our quick little mini tour going here. It's Lucy running on our boards. Sorry for the shaky camera, folks. As you can see, it's a very sunny day, very beautiful out. Hey, Sabrina. Hi, Sabrina. Yeah, that's you. All right, Harriet. I see you. Hi, Harriet. Where are you going? Hi, Priya. Hi, Melinda. Oh, there's our Dora. Hi, Dora. Just picking up the bowls. Harriet and Priya. Hi, Priya. There's Wendy. It's hard to see on my viewfinder, so I hope you see Wendy. Yeah, there's Wendy. Mr. Black and Brad. And the famous Jax. Oh, you didn't finish your food yet, Jax. Finish that up. Oh, and if I put it over there, the turkeys will get it. They like to put their head through there. And Magnus the rooster. All right. All the ducks. And Harriet goes in there and checks and see if the ducks left anything for her. Which sometimes they do, but I'd rather they didn't. There's Hard One. And as you can see, my duck pond is not on right now. The pump's not on. I turn it off at night so that we can save some power. But you'll see it'll turn on here soon. There it goes. Lucy! Come on. I don't know if people can see. If you have a big screen on, there's a coyote up there on that hill. Ooh, there's a couple coyotes. Lucy, come get a treat. I'd rather Lucy not interact with the coyotes in a direct way. Come on, Lucy. 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 Lucy, come get a treat. There you go. All right, I gotta get her a treat because I said treat. Lucy, come get a treat. Lucy. Come here. Want a treat? Good girl. Thank you, everybody, for. Mike. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here at Dobutsu-Kyoji, the Animal Liberation Temple, where we are at the service of the spiritual and physical liberation of our dear animal friends. Please share this live stream and all of our posts online. If you're local, please come out, help out with the animals, visit with our residents here, help do the massive amounts of cleaning that we need to do, and maybe help get some water up and down the hill. Also, if you're not local, sharing, I guess, is the best thing that folks can do for us. Just kind of get the word about our temple out there. If you have the ability to donate, please do if you can. But there's also a lot of other great sanctuaries that are in need, so maybe donate to your local sanctuary. There's a lot of folks in Southern California that are probably in need. So I just want to put that out there that, that everybody's needs and are met is what we're looking for. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful Sunday and rest of the week. I look forward to hearing from folks. Please reach out if you have any questions.